guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sabrina. Let's make a purse pal. This is a pattern by LINDS Handmade. I'll link her website below, but it's a great little companion to carry in your purse or just to carry alone. It has card slots, snap enclosure. It has zipper pocket for change or whatever you might want to carry in there. And it has a slip pocket right here for bills, receipts, or whatever you would want to carry in there. It's made with cork, leather, or vinyl or something of that nature. You want a non-fraying edge or raw edge. You do have the option to top coat or edge coat that to kind of just finish it off. I think it makes it look very professional and well made when you do use the edge coat to finish this off. This is the size that is in the pattern. Now the one I am doing today is a little bit bigger. So here's one in vinyl. Again, I have this one a little bit bigger. You can see the size of this one and the size of this one. It's a little bit bigger. So this has a spring snap. Has a few more card slots. Has a bigger zipper pocket. And the slip pocket is bigger. So you could even probably fit a small phone in here, which I do have somebody that did get one of these made for her so that she could fit her phone inside here. But this is a vinyl, and I edge coated this one also, but I used a matte finish black on this one. And then we have another one that is also a little bit bigger. Again, this is one that I made on my own, a little bit bigger. It does not match the pattern. So again, we have a few more card slots, snap enclosure. This one's made with cork, and this one's made with cork. And we have a nice zipper pocket over here. And then we have the slip pocket. And I edge coated this one with like a silver metallic. So that looks really good. So let's get started. You can also check out LINDS Handmade video also, where she does do the smaller size. And I did use my Cricut to cut out these pieces, which makes it very precise so that when you are folding these over, these corners line up really nice. So the one today I am also making with cork. So we will need zipper, exterior zipper pocket piece, interior zipper pocket piece, and we will need the exterior slip pocket, and we'll need the snap enclosure. I have two pieces here. This cork I got from Sally Tomato. She has lots of different selections on there. We'll need zipper tape, and we'll need some kind of plastic snap or spring snap. I'm using plastic snaps today, which is what I used on this one. And here's a little bit of bigger pattern you can see on that. Again, Sally Tomato. This is what the back of it looks like. And let's get started. I'll go over everything that we're going to need to do this project. All right, here we go. Okay, to get started on this project, we are going to need some material. I'm using cork. Purchased this at Sally Tomato. We will need a zipper pull, zipper tape. We will need to cut out the snap closure, which I did just cut out a rectangle, and then I will show you how we cut that. This is the card slot piece that we're going to need. And I already have mine cut out with my slots for the cards, and I already put the double-sided tape on the back, and then I will show you how we'll be working with that. And then we're going to need the zipper, exterior zipper pocket. We'll need a cotton piece for the interior zipper pocket. We'll need a snap closure. I'm using plastic snaps. We'll need some double-sided tape, some fray check, FABRICATOR, or some kind of leather glue. We'll need a hole punch, and we're going to need something 2.5 inches wide for the card slot. And let's see, a marking pen and something to spread our glue. And I think that might be about it. So if there's anything else, and of course a rotary cutter or some kind of pair of scissors, we may need that. And if there's anything else, and some basting spray, we'll use that. Alright, let's get started. We need to put some double-sided tape along here, and we're going to want to push this over like this. And I'm using double-sided tape to do this. And on this side also. We're going to take that off. Okay, so we're going to push this back, and we're going to push this piece back. Okay, so now that we have these pieces pushed back with some double-sided tape, I'm going to put a little piece here on this corner for that, and a piece down here for this corner, so we can hold back those little points like that. So now we have our box for our zipper pocket. Then we're going to take the exterior zipper pocket piece, and we're going to put some double-sided tape on our zipper. Scissors. Take this. So now that we have that side the way we want it, we're going to pull this side. There we go. Okay, so that's what we have to this point. We're going to flip it over. And now we're going to add the zipper pocket lining on top of that. Now to do this, I use basting spray. That's what we have this for. And I'm going to put a little piece of scrap paper on top here. And I'm going to spray this down. Lay this on top of our pocket, back of our exterior zipper pocket. And again, just work with it until you're comfortable with it, the way it looks. Make sure it's centered on there nicely and push it down. So that's what we have at this point. Then we're going to take this to the sewing machine and we're going to sew around the box. Now, one important thing to keep note of, when you're sewing around this box, you want to make sure you're catching the back of this interior pocket. So you want to make sure that this edge of your cotton is going to get picked up when you're sewing the top. So learn from my mistakes. I did do that mistake once, and whenever I was finished, you could see where the stitching didn't sew down the cotton. And I'm also going to use a little fray check on this corner right here, where the cotton is a little bit frayed, where it was cut. Okay, so we'll get to sewing that. And also at this point, I think we will glue together the snap closure. And for that, I am using FABRICATOR. Put a good amount on there. And then we're going to place this piece right on top there. And we're going to push it down. And we're going to try to spread that glue out to the edges. And make sure that it's lined up. That's going to need to dry. So while that's drying, we will go ahead and sew up this piece. Okay, I'm sewing on a SAILRITE fabricator today. I'm using a size 18 needle and Tex 70 thread. So again, we're just going to sew around this box, and I'm using a 4 stitch length. I'm not going to back stitch because I'm going to pull the stitches to the back and tie them off. Move your zipper pull out of the way, make sure you don't zip on it. Needle down, pivot, needle down, pivot, And I think I'm gonna go one more. Pivot. Okay. Leave the threads long so that when you do tie it off in the back, it is easier. So basically I'm just pulling this thread up until I see the thread below pop up, and I'm going to pull it through. I'm just going to tie these off. And snip. Okay, that's what we have so far. Now we're going to work on the card slots. So I already did mark where my snap closure needs to be, and I already put a hole there. I'm using a cam press, and I'm using the top die that is for the plastic snaps. So I'm going to put this piece through the bottom. And this piece sits on top there. And we're going to press it down. And there we have our snap. The other half will go on the snap closure piece when we're ready to do that. So here's the 2.5 inch ribbon. We're going to start on the card slots. Now again, this piece pattern is bigger than what the pattern calls for, so I'm going to need to pay attention to how deep I want my card slots to go and where I need to place this. So we're going to start here. This is the bottom card slot. We're going to tear this tape off. We're going to place this right on top of that piece of tape. And we are going to sew this down. Just above or just below this first line. And again, I'm not back stitching because I'm going to pull the threads through to the back. So there's my stitch. And we're going to pull on this one. And I'm going to pull that through. And you can't see the pieces on the top, the threads on the top. Much neater finish. Just gonna cut those. Okay, so we got the first stitch down. So now we need to fold this down like this. And I need to figure out where I want my card to sit. So I'm gonna turn it over. I'm gonna kind of just place it where I want it to sit, about that high out of the slot. And then fold it up, and I'm going to pull this piece off and place that right there on that piece. Make sure you pull the card out. So now we're going to stitch where the next card slot is, just below there. Make sure you leave your threads long so that when you try to pull this through to the back, it's easy to tie off. Then we're going to tie those. And we're going to cut them off. Alright, so again, I'm just going to make sure this is going in the right spot. Turn this up. Tear off this next piece. Push this down. And I'm going to take my card out of there. And now we're going to sew the next one. So we're basically just going to keep doing this until we get to the top, and then when we get to the top, I'll show you what we need to do at that point. Okay guys, this is the last one. I did have to clean my needle because this double-sided tape is super sticky. I was having some trouble with my threads because it is so sticky. So I had to clean my needle. You can just use an alcohol wipe or something like that. To clean the needle off. But I was starting to have some problems here with my stitching, and it was because of the double-sided tape. Okay, so that's the last one. So now we need to, there's one more slot here. So we need to make sure we carry this down. So that this last card fits in there. And it's going to get fixed to this top piece that we have at the top. Like that. We are not going to sew this down. We're just going to leave it like that, and then we're going to trim that ribbon off. We want to make sure the ribbon's not sticking out from the edge of the cork. There we go. That looks good. So we are done with this. Okay guys, I'm going to use this Teflon pressing sheet, and I'm just going to press those slots down a little bit just to flatten them out. Okay. Now we're ready for the next step. So we're going to glue this together. You can use FABRICATOR on this. I'm just going to put some glue along there. Just kind of spread it out a little bit. We're going to do some down the center also. Then we're going to fold this in half and line up all our edges. If there's any glue on here anywhere, just kind of roll it off. If you want to put clips on here, you can put clips. but the clips do tend to leave marks in your materials. So if you're using leather or cork, the clips will leave marks in there. Okay, so now that we have this piece glued and pieced together, we want to top stitch this piece right here. And I am going to back stitch. Trim off your threads. Okay, I was looking for a lighter. So those pieces we're going to just singe the end of the thread. Just to help keep it from fraying. You could put some fray check on there if you want. Would probably be okay. Okay, there you go. Nice round edge on that. So now we're going to sew and top stitch around the edge. Well, actually no. We're going to trim the edge down and make sure it's nice and even. Nice, clean, even edge. Make sure your ruler is straight up and down when you're doing this, otherwise the edge will look crooked. I'm just taking off the tiniest piece. And you can see right there, that's about all I took off. It should be nice and even on the edge. Okay, so now we're going to top stitch. Pivot. Again. Pivot again. There's our closure. And now we're going to put our snap in. We're going to put a hole. You can eyeball it, or if you actually want to measure, you can measure. This will go in there. We'll put this on the back. press it. And there is the snap closure. Okay, so now we're going to work on finishing this piece. And if you want to trim off some of this zipper, we can do that. I actually should have did that already. I'm going to go ahead and trim that off. Then we can press that back down. And we do want to get it on the edge of this cotton fabric, the interior. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to use this to kind of just spread that to the edge. Make sure you're not moving your project, because you're going to move your project right into the glue, and you're going to have glue on the back of your piece. So I just kind of do that. I learned the hard way because I used FABRICATOR one evening on one of these bags or wallets, and I clipped it thinking, oh, I'll get back to it soon, and I didn't get back to it soon, and I had a really hard time getting this in, this closure. So now we're going to fold this. We're going to line these up, these edges. Might be a good thing to have a little towel with you if you get glue on you. Okay. Trim out any loose threads. So this we are going to want to clip just so it can dry some. And I'm actually going to set this on top of it, and it can all dry at once. So now this piece will get slipped inside of the pocket, zipper pocket. We're going to line all this up. We're going to put some okay, I'm just going to let that dry a little bit, and we will come back to it. Okay guys, now that this is all dried and ready to roll, I removed all the clips. We're going to top stitch from here all the way around. Make sure you keep your zipper pull out of the way. And I am going to back stitch. Pivot when you get to the end. pivot. Pivot. And pivot. Okay. Trim off the ends. Okay, so I did leave a little extra room on the ends after stitching so that we can trim and make the ends straight. It's a little bit hard to do with the bulk in the way. Maybe unzip that. So make sure your rotary cutter is straight up and down. Okay. And I'm going to trim a little off this end. Make sure the rotary cutter is straight up and down. Gives that a nice even edge. And I'm going to do this corner. Watch your fingers. There we go. And okay, there we go. Alright, there's that. Okay guys, if you're still with me, if you're still with this video, this is what we ended up with. I think it looks pretty good. Here's the slip pocket. Here's our zipper pocket. And we did catch the inside of that cotton lining. Like I had mentioned, we want to make sure that when we top stitch this box, that we are catching that lining on the inside. So all in all, I think it turned out pretty good. With all the issues I had doing this, I've made these so many times, but this was my first YouTube tutorial, so I hope you're still with me. I will have more tutorials in the future. It was more challenging than I had anticipated, but I want to keep trying and keep moving along, and hopefully you guys will move along with me. So please like and subscribe. But yeah, so now it's time for cleanup. So if you like watching organizational videos and cleanup videos and that kind of thing, stay with me and you can kind of just watch me organize and clean up my space. be doing a video on edge painting for that wallet, if you guys want to stay tuned for that. guys, I think that's it. Thanks for watching.